We're live.
I'm still giggling.
People are shit. Hey, everybody.
Well, and B Dub over here in the background just got to put his input in. I'm trying to pull
I
up the
was
chat.
with her. She was so sweet. Hey, Diane. Let me make sure I get the right. Kimberly, T. I'm not even going to try to say that. Ginger, Paula, Queenie, Colleen, Crystal, Feed Me Seymour.
I can't even see the
So,
chat yet.
Rosie. How you feeling today, Rosie? I hadn't heard from you today. And this is my last day till I have to, hey, Beck, Mary Timer, Princess Fortunate, Jamie Lynn, Liz, Liz, Izzy, Jen, Kathy, Mac, Tyre. Hey, Flint.
Hey, everybody, I can't see the chat
Randy,
yet. Sorry.
T has been trying to tell us this for a long time. Hey, Hippie Mandy.
For a long time.
Carrie, JB, and no, I'm happy. I never get to stream in the daytime. This is my last day off. I should be shampooing carpets, but I'm not. Judy, I missed the live chat a few weeks back on Amanda Berry. Okay, little Rosie. I know you was tired. All right, Mary Timer. I work with a guy that is Amanda Berry cousin. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer. I sure know what that's like. We just wanted to talk about B. Oh, there you are. I don't have her blocked, Rebecca. Anyway, we want to. I don't have Mama Bear blocked. But this ain't. I don't want any drama. This is about addiction. Anyway, from the perspective of what it's like to be an active addiction, maybe we can help some people understand and not down the person as bad as you want to.
I don't have the chat.
What? Am I froze or are you froze? Blonde lady froze. B, you're froze. B. No, I'm not going to put up with any drama today. B had to drop out, apparently. She'll be back. Well, thank you for coming, Carrie. I'm glad. I'm all for helping addicts and recovering, but I can't stay if shit's going to go. I'm not going to let stuff go sideways. I'm absolutely not, because yeah, I take this serious. I take recovery serious because my life depends on it. You know, that's one thing that I have to say. My life depends on whether or not I follow this program, I work this program, and I don't take the first drug. Now, and somehow, you know, addiction touches somebody's life somehow. And I saw, you know, some people talking about it this morning, and I get it. I get the frustration.
I just got on my phone. That computer sucks.
You didn't bring your good one?
I don't ever bring my MacBook. I mean, because I never think that I'm going to go live, so I leave it at home. I am
He had
sleepy.
a lunch. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, most of the time, okay, that's how easy it is to become addicted. It usually does start with a prescription. And like we've said 100 times, you don't wake up one morning. Yeah, I'm off today. You don't wake up one morning and say, "Hmm, today I'm going to hurt my entire family and become an addict."
Right. Hey, everybody. I see you.
Hey, Evelyn Calypso, you just tweeted. Okay. And people seem to think that, and they seem to think, I know how it looks. It looks like the addict is choosing that behavior. And I guess in some ways you're choosing to stay in active addiction, but in a lot of ways it doesn't feel like a choice at the time, is what it doesn't.
Well, and I think a lot of them too.
That's right,
A lot
Christina.
of people think that if it's prescribed by the doctor, that that does not put them in the if they've never abused it, they're absolutely not an addict. Their body may become addicted, but that doesn't mean that they are addicted as far as in the head. But when you do not take it as prescribed, you're running out before the end of the month, you probably have a problem. That's just the way I see it.
Hey, Ridgemont. Hey, Miss Christie, I love you. Yeah, I would get a prescription and it would last. If it lasted over a week, I was lucky, but I don't think that it did. Prescription drugs are the number one cause of addiction. Mm.
The Wombat says so many people are struggling with addictive behaviors. Most people act better than others because they don't have the same issues. Could be drugs, sex, gambling, or anything else that runs your life. Exactly. When it is out of control, you have no, it controls you instead of you controlling it. You just may be addicted to it. And it could be anything.
Yes.
Addicted to, I'm tired, Evelyn. Thank you, though. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm tired. I'm still tired. I'll be better soon.
I think it's because you ate lunch too.
Yeah, I ate lunch and B Dub's over there taking his afternoon nap. I need to be taking mine. But somebody just pulled up on a motorcycle, so he'll be waking up.
Oh, I think you're okay. You're definitely born with an addictive personality. And I do think addiction is hereditary. I do.
Yeah, T, I did the same thing. I was taking 8 to 10 Norco 10s at one time. And at the end of my addiction, it obviously didn't start out that way, but I it got to where it took more and more. And it didn't take long. Hey, Cassie, love you too, honey. The withdrawals are absolutely horrible.
Yes. It runs in my family too. But then you got the people who um there's only one addict, they'll say I'm the addict. It's not like it's a disease that discriminates.
I've never heard of Vivitrol. That must be fairly new.
The ER trips, yes. What's your pain level? 20.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. Take 5% at a time. Yes, withdrawals are horrible. I'm trying to get addicted to working out. Um, and I can't drink. I can't do. I mean, well, I'm a drunk too. It's an
I'm
opiate.
all or nothing addict, even though I can count on one hand how many times I've ever gotten drunk. It was I drank to get drunk, and but I'm an all or nothing. I don't do anything. Hey, Andrea, Okay, honey. I'm an all
Oh,
nothing where it all. No, she just said we just had a guy break into my ER and broke into our sharps container for a needle, then OD'd on it.
oh,
How sad is that? Hey, Dr. Koala, how sad? Yeah, that's the desperation of addiction right there. That you will steal a used needle. You have no idea who it was used on, what kind of person, what diseases they had, and you will shoot up with it just to get out of pain, get out of withdrawals, whatever it is. That's the insanity of it. Exactly, Rebecca. And there's a difference too in being sober and being in recovery. And
yep.
I preach this a lot, and I don't and it goes back to why
Thank
I
you.
don't just cut people out of my life. And I know a lot of y'all can't understand it, but I just don't. And because I want to think that if I was ever needed, I would be there. Now I can fuss and fight with them offline. I just don't choose to do it publicly. Um, but it's about being in recovery and trying to do what's best for everybody, for anybody that would happen to need it. That's just the way I feel about it. Hey, Stephanie, it's and everybody feels different about it. Everybody's path is different. That's my path, and that's what I've learned is forgive and let go. I can't live. Now, there's a lot of people I dislike. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I don't. There's a lot of people that if they never darkened my chat room again, it would never hurt my feelers. But there's some that I won't give up on. I wonder sometimes if in the ER the doctors actually knew you were an addict and would give you what you wanted to get you out there. Yes, I was an ER
Yeah.
nurse for years. And we would
Um,
call it, they'd come in to eat and get their medicine. Some nights it'd be Percocet and pizza. In the mornings it'd be Dilaudid and donuts, and that's what we called it. And I know that sounds horrible, but that's what we did. They'd come in the wee hours in the morning. They'd want their breakfast and their Dilaudid shot. It's just, and we knew it. We'd give them enough, and especially on the weekends,
thank
we
you,
knew
Cassie.
we'd be flooded with it. The
And I,
right
and
wrong
I
thing.
do think that the ER treats normals different because of addicts. I know that. I know that everybody they feel put under a microscope when they go in now.
I
And,
agree.
it's just how it is.
Thank you,
And it
Carrie.
sucks. Hi, Marine Mom.
Yeah, Cynthia, barbiturate withdrawals. I was in treatment with the guy. He'd been off of them for, I guess it was about 6 weeks into treatment. And he had secondary withdrawals because, barbiturates are stored in the fat cells, just like marijuana is. And a lot of times you get in recovery, you start feeling good, you start working out. Well, then there's a sudden rush of the release of the endorphins that you get from the drugs. And he had secondary withdrawals because his drug screen was normal. I mean, I'm clear. And of course, they had to call the ambulance and all that stuff. And he went and it was clear, but had a grand mal seizure sitting right there in that chair. It was the craziest thing I've ever witnessed. I didn't know that could happen.
Somebody asked me a question about kids.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you type in the chat again?
I need to find a spot for this. This is driving. There you go. That's better.
I was on them too, dancing. I'm battling this off and on since I've been 16. And that's what you gotta want to stay clean as bad as you want to use. And that's just the main thing. As far as it goes to kids, I understand not wanting the addict around your other kids. That is the hardest question. And I always will say the same thing. I've done both. I've kicked mine out, but I always have let her back. Like I said, we speak with a man that lost his son and a woman that lost her daughter. One of them is what you would call an enabler, never kicked her son out. The other one did kick his son out. They both ended up the same. There is no right answer. You got to do what's right, what you feel is right. You can let them hit bottom, but sometimes we got to face that their bottom is death. And that's the scary and the saddest truth. If you don't get help, you cannot live.
Hey, IBF.
And
Yeah,
it's got to be that plain.
It will keep, your level will keep going up, the amount that you have to take. And at some point, you're either going to run out of money or you're going to be in withdrawal so bad that you want to take your life, or you get a hold of the wrong thing and you overdose.
Yeah. The lady that lost her son, you know, like I said, the fake Percocets was going around. I talked about that a year ago, I think. The fake Percocets was going around pretty heavy. And we had 12 overdoses and 1 death from them in one night. And my friend's son was the 1 death. And he died on her couch with a bag in his hand. Oh, that's okay. He died on her couch with a bag of Percocets in his hand. And they were fake. The people that sold him the fake Percocets showed up at his funeral. Imagine standing there. I can't. And the thing is I may not like you at all, but if you need me in a situation like that, I will absolutely sit and talk with you. I know what it's like to have a child in addiction. I know what it's like to be an addict, and I know what it's like to live with an addict. It's I don't know, it's hell. It's hell, especially watching your kid fight it and the guilt. So you got a lot of guilt. We don't need it from other people. That's why I don't share a lot of my story. But I'll tell you this, I didn't admit a lot of my shit till B woke me up. And then I called my sponsor. Long, short story. No.
Fentanyl mixed with heroin. My nephew just OD'd on a week ago. Oh, Christina, that's horrible. See, that's what's so bad around here is the heroin mixed with the fentanyl. It's a very dangerous combination, and you know these the people that are shooting up the heroin are used to a certain amount. Well, when they get it mixed with the fentanyl, which is a very, very potent narcotic, the two of them are a deadly combination, and you don't know that's what you're getting, because I can assure you, most of the small dealers, not the big ones up here, the ones that have the larger quantities, the ones that the cops want to get to, but the smaller ones don't know what the hell it's mixed with. They have no clue. They're just selling you a bag to get their money.
Queenie said that's how her son died.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. See, I can't. And I think about that
because
a lot too, though. I could have easily, you know, I think the only time that I remember overdosing, or that I was close, was on Thanksgiving. I'd worked all night, had been chewing Percocets all night, had my pockets full of Percocet, and I went over to my in-laws. It was on Thanksgiving Day, and I went over to their house to clean the house before we ate. And I was in the kitchen, and I literally just fell out and had a seizure. Somehow they got me to the couch, and I woke up with my husband standing over me. I never went to the ER, you know, nothing. And I said, of course, my excuse was, oh, I'm just exhausted. Same excuse I told him every single time. And it was not long thereafter that I was in treatment. You know, it was what, 6-7 months later that my license got yanked because I got caught, and then the following January is when I ended up in treatment. So, you know, my consequences were quick. Thank gosh.
I guess I'll go ahead and I'll tell one of my stories. I'll give some people something to use against me and give other people a break, I guess. My arrest story. I didn't get arrested, but when I got busted for drugs, I'll tell about that. How about that, B?
That's a good one.
How bad you don't want to quit. And I mean, this is crazy. I was on my, it was a week to the day that we buried my nanny. And I remember that so well because I also used that for an excuse. I was going to rent a storage building and I got pulled over. And when I pulled over, the cop, I thought, no big deal. Now, keep in mind, I was on drugs. I was on pain pills. Also, I call it phentermine. Some people say phentermine.
I call
the diet pill.
I call it phentermine.
You call it phentermine? I was taking phentermine, and I'd also had a latte. So I was like, so the cop pulled me over, comes to my window, and asks for my driver's license and all that stuff. And I start getting it out, and my purse rattled. And he said, "What's that?" And I said, "Ha ha, that's my crack." As a joke, I said that. But he had to look at me and tell.
To the cop, she said, "Ha ha, that's my crack." That's how dumb us addicts are, y'all. That's how dumb we are.
That's how dumb. I also had a purse full of illegal pills. And he said, "Can I search your purse?" And I said, "Sure." Let him search my purse. Let him search my car. I had, golly, you name a schedule, and I was charged for it. I don't know what, I got searched. Like I said, they took all my pills. They took everything. But they gave me a citation to go to court, which, I don't know how I didn't get arrested. Maybe the jail was full. Yeah. But I mean, the whole time, y'all got to keep in mind, I'm geeking. So I'm like, my mouth is just going and going and going and going and going. And I'm like, my nanny just died. See, holding up her, that thing you get the funeral home.
Uh-huh.
And just lying. And I said, and you can see, this is what I said. I said, you can see that this is an old purse because it's after Labor Day and this purse is brown. So I don't even know what's in it. I mean, I just start flying out my ass. So I went to court. First of all, let me tell you something. That's the scariest I've ever been. The days leading up, I think it was about a month before I had a court date. I called everybody I knew in the system, lied my ass off, thought they believed me, was dumb enough to think they believed me. I went to court scared to death, but not so scared that I didn't go to court fucked up because I was on pills. Took the pills out of my purse and put them in the glove box before I went into court. When they called my name, I stood up. My knees was knocking together. Somehow, we managed to rustle around and get prescriptions for everything that I was caught with, except for 2 different of the benzos. And they didn't really care about them. They more cared about the pain pills. Because I think I had about 4 different kinds of pain pills in my purse. All right. So because, yes, I will absolutely leave this up. So because I got prescriptions, I got let go. I didn't get charged. None of the charges stuck. And instead of thanking God, that's not what got me clean. That did not wake me up and get me clean. The thought of, because Jim was 100% sure that I was going to jail that day. And I had already said, I'm going to jail, Jim, either with a shotgun shell in me or taser marks because I'm running. As soon as they say guilty, I'm running because I was guilty. Okay. At that time, Jim was still using too. I get freed. And I I get let go. I got off. We were so stupid. No, I ain't taking this one, B. Jimmy was so stupid. He said he wanted me to go back in. He said, "Hey, since they're letting you go back in there and get our drugs." I said, "Hell no, get in the car." But he thought they should have gave us our pills back. But that's how my mind was working. It wasn't working. What was my charge? My charge was they had me. I had scheduled.
It's different possession, wasn't it?
Yeah, possession of schedules 3 and 4. I think it may have been 1 and 2. I don't remember. It was about 3 different schedules I had. So that was not enough to wake us both up, and that's the closest that I could have been in jail for a long time, y'all, a long time, and still used for probably another, oh God, I don't know, probably another year. I don't know if it was that long, but it don't matter. Thank you, Ridgemont. It's not, you're not in your right mind. Absolutely not in your right mind.
I know the first time I got arrested, the detective down here, was a good friend of my husband's. And I was going to convince them all that it was another nurse that called in those prescriptions. They knew I was lying through my teeth, but they played right along. They said, okay, well, I tell you what, when she calls you and wants to pick them up from you, we will, when she wants to pick them up from you, we'll be, hiding. She was going to have an undercover officer in the car with me, one of the females. And when she comes to pick them up, we'll arrest her and drop your charges. Well, of course, no, there was not going to be anybody that was going to be calling because it was me that called them in. So I'm playing this game. And I'm thinking they're going to give me the drugs back, right? And I'm going to do a quick switcheroo on the cops. Honest to God, that's what I'm thinking. No, didn't get the drugs back. But, and of course, nobody called because I'm the one that called him in. And I just finally just quit answering his phone call when he would call. And then they knew I'd get arrested again, and I did. But yeah, you convince yourself that the lies that you're telling are the truth. You convince yourself. And that's the saddest part of it, is it goes that far that you start believing it yourself. Yeah, it was called in by somebody else. Yep, it wasn't me.
You do start believing your own lies.
You do.
You do.
And everything is a lie. We are cons, we're scammers. The biggest one, we're liars. We will, take from under your nose.
Yep.
That's why it's so different when you're walking the walk and talking the talk. You're not going to be that way. And it just is not. But I don't know. Sad life.
Yeah, and there's so much of that period of time that I don't remember. I have it's like flashbacks. I stayed messed up. There was never a time that I was not on. The minute I woke up, and I'll tell you this, something else that's very sad. I can remember having a little bit of time, a few times when I would quit and stay. I don't want to use the word clean, but no, I wouldn't use for about a week, and then I would decide, you know what, I'm hurting. So then what would I do? I would think, well, since I'm hurting so bad, I better take one, and I would get excited. I would be so excited that I would get to wake up and start over, because that's my mind.
Yeah. I do too, Stephanie. I think addicts and recovery are some of the best people I've ever met. Right next door to our shop is an AA meeting place. And every time in the morning, they have a men's group. It's the first meeting of Monday through Friday. And so they're usually out there. If it's pretty, they'll be out on the porch. They have these benches out there. And every day, Pancho, the Chihuahua's got to go over there and have discussion with them. But now they're so interested about Jimmy Bean. I was on the phone with Randy when I got here this morning, and they were like, "Where's the pig?" But they are some of the there's a lot of them that come and go next door because they're court ordered, and I won't see them. I did not know those men, but there's some men that have been over there as long as we've been here, almost 10 years. They have been going next door, and they are. I would absolutely. They would do anything for us over here, and vice versa. You know, they're just great people, men and women, because they have different groups. Different meetings throughout the day. But the first one of the day is a men's group.
Maggie, I'm sorry. What was your question?
I didn't see it either. Hang on, I'll go back up. Maggie.
Somebody said, did I maintain a job? No, I was not a functioning addict. I had a really good job for 3 years. I used the whole time. I made very, very bad decisions, and I don't have that job anymore.
It must have been way back up.
Maggie, do you mind re-asking it?
I'm on pain contract, so I'm okay, but I don't eat. That's all I see. I don't see a question, though, at all. I don't see it.
Cannot function. My son had a very, and some can. I thought I was killing it. I thought I was really
killing it too, and I was falling asleep, standing outside, and my husband's recording me because I said I don't ever fall asleep. Mm-hmm.
How can I take as prescribed and not end up abusing? Take it like the bottle says.
Like the bottle says, never take one early, never double up, never under any circumstances. If it says take one twice a day, that don't mean take one now and then in 2 hours take another. That means at least 10 hours apart. And then
he was very much in her life, Jennifer. Very much in her life. Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think B, and I've heard B say this. I'm not trying to speak for that somebody in pain should suffer.
Never.
But I'm going to tell you
out for people thinking that I think that. I don't. I'm pissed off at myself for being an addict that now that I am in pain, I can't take a fucking thing. I choose not to. I could. My husband could dose it out to me, and that's what we did when I had my teeth done. But I'm not going to take it for my knees or my leg pain, bone pain. I'm not going to do it. Not unless it gets to the point that I can't get up. Do you think chemical makeup plays a part if you need to increase your dose or not? I do think no, I don't think chemical makeup plays a part. I think that it's not helping the pain, so you end up needing a higher dose. I don't think chemical makeup. I think that some are predisposed to addiction. I do think that. They are liable. They are absolutely. It is the number one addictive substance in America right now. All forms of opiates. Yeah, Cynthia is on a pain contract, and her husband doses hers out so that she's held accountable because she don't know what she'd do. And I can say that I talked to Cynthia. So
this girl
don't know.
Yes. Do we go to meetings? I still have to go. Yes.
Every once in a while next door. I used to go all the time. Next door, they'll be having a good speaker. I love a good speaker meeting, and I'll go to those. But I used to go to 3, 4, 5 meetings a week. I don't like I should.
I had slacked off of meetings and went in straight denial, and you can't do that. I had a good friend that said, you got a relapse in you. And I was like, this bitch is right. And a lot of times what I do when I get off work is there's an AA meeting. If I don't go to the NA meeting, I'll go to an AA meeting. It's just good people. That's the best people I've met is addicts in recovery because they don't want you to fail. Oh, I absolutely. Do what?
I said, hey,
But to make people see it, what I want to make people don't, again, I say, don't hate the person. Trevor, thank you, by the way. I saw your comment a while ago. Don't hate the person, hate the disease.
thank you, Trevor. Yeah, don't hate the person, because anybody that was in addiction, regardless of how long ago it was or how soon ago it was, we all were like that at some point. I can assure you, you were like that. We can
Yes.
be as judgmental as we want to be, but with 100% certainty, we were like that. Do you think someone who is an addict or someone who is dependent on meds are one and the same? No, not at all. An
Mm-mm.
addict abuses the meds. An addict has a different frame of mind, different way of thinking. They are addicted
That's right.
to the feeling of the drug. Somebody that is dependent on them has just been taking them for a length of time that unfortunately their body has gotten dependent on them. And without those drugs, they will go in withdrawals.
Yes.
And usually, ones like that, they will do, especially if they have to change them or take them off something for a certain period of time, they'll do a medical detox in the hospital.
Right,
That's
Kimberly.
right, Angelo. And don't make light of recovery. It's a serious matter. And it's not the easiest thing. It's easier for me to talk about it now. But you have to look at how many years I've got. But literally, for the first 10 years, I held on by the skin of my teeth. And it, not a day went by that I did not, my mouth didn't water thinking about it. Thinking I'd find one magical in an old purse or whatever. It Anybody that decides to get off of it and stay off of it, all you can do is just try to be there and push them and pray that they stay clean.
Good, Taylor.
Um,
Right.
and and we're gonna have hiccups. I relapsed. Uh, I can't remember now if it was 2 or 3 years after I got clean. 2.5. Anyway, it was a couple of years, and
That's scary.
16, 17. I think it's had 15 years in October. But I went into treatment. See, I don't keep up with when I relapsed. I keep up with when I got sober again. It don't matter. It don't matter.
I'll have, okay, my clean date is 8/17/2015. And, that's not a long time. It seems like a long time to me, but it's not a long time. And if I Wayne, will I feel, yes, I think you will want it. I don't know if you'll need it, but you will want it.
Well, not if she don't. She don't. She's not. She's just dependent. She's not an addict. So I don't think she'll necessarily want it. She will need it for her pain in her head. It's a mental. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
mental game. For me, I took it. I was not in pain. I took it because I liked the way it made me feel. Had nothing to do with pain.
Right.
That was my excuse. That was the excuse that I used, but that wasn't the truth. That wasn't the reality of it.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes I look, and I'm not talking about Maggie, I'm talking about for myself. My pain decreased 95% when I got clean because in my head, I would tell myself I was hurting a whole lot more than I was hurting. I have literally, like, when did I had a little kidney stone a couple of weeks ago. I had a
Mm-hmm.
urinary tract infection, a kidney stone, and a sinus infection all at one time. And I'm like, what did I do, God? I felt like I was being punished. But I got through that with no pain medicine. But I called B and said, I want a fucking relapse is what I wanted to do.
It's
I
not an
mean, not an option. Not no. And I'm not ready to have something dosed out to me. I know me that well.
Lilybug. See, when I worked in the ER, that was we couldn't flag their charts or anything. I know they can do that now. That was before the time. Um,
Not an option. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. We couldn't do that then. I'm sure they have a different way of doing that now, but
it did suck. But if it was a bigger stone, if it, if, but luckily it wasn't. Luckily I got through it and I didn't use. So that's, you know,
yeah, T Mac, you can ask a question. Absolutely.
ooh, I don't know if I could have got through my hysterectomy with just Motrin. I might could have.
See, my dumb ass faked kidney stones, thought I was faking kidney stones, ended up in surgery with the stent placed. So yeah, I got exactly what I deserved. Horrible pain, horrible. Oh, Maggie, that's horrible. Speaking of, I know this has nothing to do with this, but one of the police chiefs down here in one of our little cities, he's a good friend of ours. His daughter's 16. She was texting and driving
Oh.
and missed a turn, went head on with the tree. Her tibia, which is, the lower bones, came up through her knees. Um, she's in a medically induced coma right now, from a severe head injury. She has a huge laceration that goes all the way across her face. Whatever y'all do, whether it's prayers, good vibes, whatever, they said if she survives all this, which I think she will, she's a fighter, it'll take her over a year to learn to walk again. No texting and driving. Just know that shit can wait. It can absolutely wait. Just want to tell you that I think you're an amazing and beautiful person. Hope you're healthy. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I feel better today. I'll feel much better tomorrow. I get a blood transfusion tomorrow. So, yes, please, y'all. She's just such a beautiful little girl. And, I mean, I've known her since she was 7 years old. And flagged meaning we would notify the other ERs. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. See, I don't know that we did that. I don't know that we did that. I don't remember doing that. Well, it's against the law too here, Donna, but people do it. You got to get caught. And the road that she was on, it's in the county. There's no street lights. And I worry more about dogs or deer running out in front of me than I do missing a curve. You know what I mean? Thank y'all. I'm telling you, it's sad. But anyway, we'll get back to that. When I read that Maggie about her shoulders, that's all I could think about. And it happened Saturday night. So sad. Yeah, top chat will make you miss everything, Debbie.
Oh, I'm on top chat.
Right before Lady Dragon. Okay, hang on, I'll go back up.
That may be why I was on top chat. Darn it.
Honest opinion on Suboxone. How long should someone be on it? I think that Suboxone should be used for um, immediate withdrawal from opiates, like a week or two. Nothing that I've heard good from people that have been on it for any length of time. They say that the withdrawals are worse from it than they are from other opiates.
Yes, me sweet tea. I'm sorry.
Honest to God, um, I don't know. They're starting to give it for chronic pain now. So I think there's going to be more coming out about it. To be honest with you, I just think I used to think it was switching one drug for another, but it saves people's lives. So I think that, and you don't get high from it. So I think if it keeps you sober and still you can function your everyday life, I think that, some people have to take it for the rest of their life. I see no problem with that because the alternative is taking a handful of, narcotics. That's just the way that I feel about it.
Yeah.
You,
That's
you know,
that's
had to weigh it out. That's what I think. You don't think they're
Love
clean?
you,
See,
man.
I consider them clean because they're not getting high. Does that make any sense? So weird. That's a tough situation. A lot of people don't though. Bye, Maggie. Love you too.
I feel like if they're not, because we all know that some people abuse Suboxone, but if they're doing it right and using it for the right reasons, I absolutely consider them clean.
I do too.
Because it's that's not about just not using your drug of choice. That's about saving your life.
Well, and like when I had my dental work done, um, my husband dosed out my narcotics to me. I don't consider that a relapse because I didn't abuse them. How many pain pills did I have left? There was left. There was some left.
Oh, yeah, there was some left. Yeah.
There was some left. I don't know how many. And he threw them away. But do you know I tore up that house looking for them because I told him how many weeks I jonesed for them.
Yes,
well, I didn't tell him then. Don't think I didn't tell him then. It was probably a year or so later that I jonesed for those pills because I knew there was some left and I knew I could take them all at one time. That's that addict mind thinking. And I don't know that ever goes away. I honest to God don't think that ever goes away. I had my teeth done in 2009. So that's been 9 years ago. So I'd been clean then, 6 years? But it just never goes away. You always, it's horrible.
And somebody just asked how do you may have a different opinion of this. How does one wean themselves off? Are using gabapentin to get high? Yeah, some people are. Now, I can take gabapentin. I have a prescription. It's a non-narcotic pain pill. But it makes me feel funny. 100 milligrams sometimes makes me feel funny. So it depends on the day. So I don't know. It's not a good I mean, that's hard to explain. It's a completely different feeling than a pain pill. Completely different.
Yeah, T-Mac, I think the tapering. And I think the same thing with the Norco. You taper down because Norcos are 10 milligrams. They just have different, they have a lower level of Tylenol in them. Isn't that right? They have a lower level of Tylenol. Anyway, I think they come in different milligrams, but I was taking the 10s. And you can eventually go down to, even weaning down the milligram until you're, a half of a 5 milligram once a day or whatever. I'm all about the weaning. I didn't. Mine was cold turkey in a jail cell when I went through withdrawals. And then I had to be babysat until I went into treatment.
Yes, Cassidy, it's the same thing. See, and I think if you're going to wean, and I'm not talking about benzos because that will kill you. You can't just stop a benzo. But I was never able to wean myself off of anything. I would try, but then I would be right back up. I couldn't wean. I had to just stop and suffer.
Yeah.
That was all I could do. I watch a girl who struggles with weaning off of benzos, and I really just wish that she was able to go and get a medical detox.
I won't eat it later. I'll throw it away. You sure?
Yeah, I have plenty right there.
You sure? I don't mind. I won't eat it.
Well, I haven't been finishing that at work.
Okay. Sorry.
What's a benzo? A benzo like a Xanax or
Valium, Ativan.
Yeah, anything like that will. It's just like withdrawal from alcohol. You can't just stop. It can kill you. But I guess on opiates, you're fine. She said, "B, did that tattoo hurt?"
Oh no, not at all.
It hurt. Mine hurt in one spot, right here. It hurt right there.
It was a little tickly, but that's it. I've got one on my upper arm too, but I want to get it covered up.
Yeah, I got one on my back. I want covered up. So benzos are harder to quit more than pain pills. I don't know if they're harder. I know they affect you different. They stay
in your system longer too. So sometimes they're harder too. The withdrawals seem worse than opiates.
Oh,
Yeah.
go for it, Stephanie. It's you're if you're it's I think you'll like the pain. It's a good pain, I think. I'm
What?
weird. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
What, for a tattoo?
Yeah, well, I think it's a good pain.
You're a
Is that
weirdo.
weird?
Yeah, that's weird. B-Dub got one on his upper arm, and it's like it goes all the way around. And he said it didn't start hurting until the middle of the underneath side, and he said it felt like his skin was ripping. But he toughed it out and got it done.
See, to me, that's how this felt right there. Like they were cutting me. I thought for sure that he was cutting me and I was going to be bleeding.
Do I think people have unrealistic expectations of no? People that are in true pain, that are not addicted, that are not addicts, absolutely not. Because they'll take anything. You know what I mean? Addicts, absolutely. We have unrealistic expectations because we want what we want, how we want it. Just like one time, B-Dub can tell this. B-Dub can tell the story better than me. One time I was in the emergency room, they could not get an IV on me. This was after cancer and all that stuff. Didn't have my port, didn't have my PICC line, nothing like that. They had to stick me. They could not get an IV on me. So she wanted to give me a shot in my butt. I said, nah. Yeah, I start freaking out. No, you go get the IV nurse. And I'm acting a fool up in there. And finally, they brought another nurse in there. He got my IV. I was not going to settle for anything other than IV Dilaudid, period, point blank, period. If I would have bought that on the street, that's what I would have went to. I would have been an IV drug abuser just like that, because that was probably my favorite. Anytime I went to the hospital, I lied and said I was
I
allergic
see
to
you, Miss
morphine.
Beverly.
Morphine, they couldn't give me enough morphine, and I liked the Dilaudid, so I lied and said I was allergic to morphine. Miss Delarue, we can see you, babe.
Now, when I would go to the
I'm
emergency
sorry.
room,
I ignore the chat sometimes. I'm sorry.
even though codeine was my thing, when I went to the emergency room several times, I told them I was allergic to codeine so I could get what I called happy juice, which was Dilaudid.
It's awful. What Shannon said.
I mean, if you're
So I'm probably addicted, but it's like a maintenance drug for me. And a lot of them are, the Shannon. My grandmother was on Valium like that, and she never ran out. Never ran out. How long did you have withdrawals, and what was the worst part? My withdrawals lasted. I was still a little bit in withdrawals when I went to treatment. Gave myself my IV with my daughter. The nurse had no idea. I don't blame you, Andrea. The fish out of water, because when you're on opiates, all your impulses and all that stuff are down, right? So when you get off of them, everything's waking back up. Everything's trying to fire and wake back up. So your legs are jumping, your hands are jumping, you can't be still, you can't sleep because you're just a jumping and you can't see it, you're up and down, and that's the most miserable part to me, and the diarrhea. But
I'm going to say, what about the shitting? Because that was bad.
Because you can't get out off the toilet. And then there were many times I was sitting on the toilet with a bucket in my hands because I was doing both. But I still had diarrhea when I went into treatment 2 weeks later. So I could finally sleep. I could finally rest. The sweats were gone. The jitter, the jumping and stuff was gone. But other than that, I was still a little bit. So it lasted a while. The worst part of it lasted about 3 days. You can live through it. I was taking 40 10-milligram Norcos a day. 40. So if that tells you anything, that's what I came off of when I got arrested. I had nothing. It's horrible. But see, Kimberly, you're not an addict. See, for me, I love that feeling. I would fight through that sleepy I would fight through the sleepy to get on the other side.
Yeah.
I didn't want, I wasn't going to ruin a high from being sleepy. I would fight it. I'd get up, I'd move around. You know, if I ever got still, I was done.
And here's the thing, you know, if you go to sleep, you waste your pill, you know, and that was like $10. Sometimes it depended on, because we would run out and have to buy them off the streets. Hence, broke the house. That's what it does to you. I'd like to, you know, there's not many people that's been on drugs that maintained a good lifestyle.
That's crazy, Randy.
Told you.
Shut up. Told you so. Told you so. I hate her. And then the bitch gonna text me. Told you. Oh.
No, the idea isn't to sleep if you're on drugs, because then you're wasting your high. That's what's in your mind. That's why you'll see people fight their sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody just about in my family, I was born addicted to heroin. On a Greyhound bus in Dayton, Ohio. And that's, you know, that's a country song.
It's somewhere. Somebody writing it as we speak, damn it.
Yes.
Stephanie,
and
my husband, he had a very similar job, a different location. And we were too. I mean, living literally check to check. I never ever thought I would ever not have to work. Never. If I was still an addict, I would still be. And I did 2 jobs. I would work in the trauma unit and do home health too. I did both.
Yes.
And you know, whatever I had to do.
Yeah, it's true. I promise it's true. Well, see,
good, Kathy.
I never, after I got, you know, met Jimmy and fell in love with him, I never thought that I would be in a position where I had to work, because I was, you know, one, he's old school, and he thought at that time, and don't say that people don't change, because he damn sure has changed. He thought a woman should stay home and raise the kids. Now, what does he tell me, B?
Get your ass up and go to work.
I do think my heroin addiction at birth may affect some of the decisions I make.
You think?
Maybe. But my dad was an addict too. So, I mean, my nanny always said, you know, that Randy came in fighting and would go out fighting. Would I be insulted if I copied your eyebrows? I'd be insulted if you didn't. I don't know. I'm a little bit, you can copy them, but y'all think they're too thin, or I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to talk about, yeah, you can. Jimmy don't love Randy, or she would have a mini pig too.
We've had this discussion. He said if I ever show up with one, I'm no longer allowed to go.
But when today I had to take my dog to the vet. Thank you, Stephanie, to get his stitches out. And I asked them if they done pigs, and they don't.
See, it's hard to find a vet that does pigs. I'm just fortunate that now from here, it's about 25 minutes, about 20 minutes, depending on traffic, I guess. But from a house, it's 5-6 minutes. I mean, it's right around the corner. So, but when we move here, we got our, what did I call that thing that got delivered today? One of those, you know, those shipping containers like you see on the trains and stuff. We bought one of those to store all of our stuff in. So it just got delivered today. So I'm going to start bringing stuff down here, packing it up, bringing it down.
Not thank you. It is slathered in makeup based on my real skin last night. That's why my camera wasn't on. I had zit cream all over, and I had those gold eye things underneath my eyes trying to get rid of my Did Gemma Bean have a...
He did not, and he has not had another accident. My oldest one, her little pig did that. And she said that sometimes when they get bigger, you have to move their litter box if they start having an accident like that, because they don't want their litter box where they sleep.
Thanks,
and I didn't know the difference. Hell, I ain't a mind reader. I don't read my little mini pig's mind. Cassie. But she reads up on it. She's done all of her research on these little damn mini pigs. I've moved his litter box, not one more accident. Isn't that crazy? Oh, yeah. Poppy was at the dentist, high on laughing gas, and was talking about Jimmy Dean and B on YouTube, and they were like, "What the hell are you talking about?" She was just going, "Oh, no, about Jimmy Bean, the mini pig," and they were like, "What are you talking about?" She was high as hell on laughing gas.
Timber, when the last time she went to the dentist, she got laughing gas, and my son brought her to work to see me after she got out of the dentist, and she walked in the door like she was like laughing still, and I was standing at the counter, and she stopped and was staring at me. This is so gross, y'all. Get ready. This is gross.
Thank you, Colleen.
She busted out laughing, and when she did, blood from her mouth went all in my face. I had on glasses. Her blood from her mouth went all in my glasses. I could feel it hitting my lips. I started gagging. Poor thing was high as a kite. My voice.
Cassidy Jimmy Dean came from a breeder out of Missouri. Can y'all hear him? Listen to him.
Thank you, Lisa.
Look, y'all look. Him and Poncho are sleeping together.
I hear him.
Look at him. He used to be smaller than Poncho. When I first got him. There he goes. Gemma, where are you going? Gemma Bean. Listen to that noise.
So just remember, if y'all hear that noise, she's not beating the damn pig. It just does that.
He just does that. He wants out. That's what he wants to go outside and use the bathroom. Gemma.
Yes. Gemma Bean is B's pet pig.
Yeah. He's in his litter box. That's what he does, though. He would rather go outside. But he has the litter box here, too, of course. But he had to go pee. Tell me that ain't smart.
He is smart.
He is smart. He takes up the whole damn thing because he's a fat ass like his mama.
I need a pig too, but my vet said no.
You don't have another vet? There's not another one local?
Well, yeah, there's another, but there's one more in the... I would probably have to drive pretty far to take him to the vet. I don't need it. Don't talk me into something else. My goodness, I'm already close to divorce.
Exactly, Andrea. F you, I'm going out. And he loves going outside. And we just had some gravel delivered yesterday on the other side of the shop to put that container on. And so right now, until it packs down, it's just kind of like sand and dirt and gravel all mixed up. It is like having a dog, but actually easier, except he wants to eat all the time. But I don't have to worry about letting him out if I don't want to, because he uses the litter box. Pigs have the minimum capacity of a 3-year-old. Really? I thought they were smarter than that. They say they're smarter than dogs. Well, here at the shop, we are zoned. I can't remember what we're zoned. We can do just about anything on our property here. But at our house, we can have, there's only certain animals we can have. We can have a pig there. But, like, my daughter's not supposed to have one, my oldest one, because she lives in the city. I've got him in a kiddie pool. I got one of those small ones. I'm going to have to cut out kind of the side. Because they say to put, like those big rocks, in like a kiddie pool and put their treats down in it so that they can root, because that's what they love to do is root, and it'll hopefully get them out of the mud and the dirt. Because he'll find any mud hole, any dirt hole. I mean, y'all saw on Twitter how muddy he laid in a mud hole in the backyard. Literally laid in it. Came in the house, was dripping mud. I thought I was going to die.
Diane, check your message right quick.
Yeah, I think they're really smart too, Jennifer. Where we originally were going to get them from, that breeder, he kind of, we tried to get one from a rescue place out of Lebanon, Tennessee. It's about 4 hours from here. And they didn't approve me because I have a Great Dane. They didn't approve my oldest one because she has a pit bull. And I thought, you don't even know the dogs. You have not even met them. So that's right, Stephanie. Gemma Bang. Him is smart. Now, my daughter's pig can sit, turn, shake, and up. Get up on her back legs. Mine, no, he don't do shit. Pig calling contest. Oh my God. Okay, JB.
All right, y'all. I didn't know that. I just got a package. It's from Diane. And she said I could open it on camera.
Oh Lord. Is it a dildo? Is it a dildo?
If it's a dildo, I'm gonna kill her.
Don't send a dildo. Absolutely, Allie. First job interview have to be in. Oh, that's scary. Good luck, honey. He's a mini pig. He's actually the smallest breed. He's called a Juliana. But some Julianas get to be about 60, 70 pounds. So I have
Oh my goodness. Can I just show y'all the box?
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's got to be perfume, right?
I don't know.
Yes, I have 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a miniature pig. I do not have a P.O. box. I usually give the shop address, though, Cassidy, because that's public information. I don't have a P.O. box.
No, it's not perfume. Oh, my goodness. It's a wallet.
Oh, I love that. I love the color.
I do too. Diane, thank you so much. Hashtag Diane. Huh?
Is that like a taupe color?
Yeah, I would call it taupe.
Khaki in the South.
Look, I'm poured up.
We call it khaki.
Well, it's definitely taupe. Is it showing well?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Diane, thank you. Oh, I love it.
I like it. That's pretty. Yes, guinea pigs count. Any animals count. We love them, so they all count.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Randy, she said it's pink, dumbass.
Well, my house is dark. But I mean, it is pinkish. It's pink, but
it's got to be hot pink for her to see it, Poshy.
I'm blind the house.
Blind the house. You're dumb the house. Dumbass.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
That's funny.
Soft pink. It's a soft pink is what it says.
Pinkish. Yeah. Yes. Punky. She probably does not. She probably read it and has gone over her head.
I missed it, and it is. It's Michael Kors. I've been wanting one. I know a friend that has some purses. Just saying.
She's been on me for a year. Actually, we hadn't known each other a year. You've been on me.
We have.
We met last summer.
I know. Todd said, "What are you putting in that wallet? Dust."
Asshole.
That's what Nanny used to say every time I buy a new purse. Why are you buying a new purse? You ain't got nothing to put in it. I said, they are so fun. I wasn't expecting anything.
B-Double say, why are you carrying around a purse more than what you got in your wallet? That's what he says. Worth more than you got in your wallet. He just gave me some allowance, so I'm good for now. I still get allowance. I still can't be trusted with money. I'm an addict.
I can't be trusted. It's been about a year.
Carrying that purse around everywhere, empty.
That's right.
No, we don't know each other. We've known each other.
What?
What's our anniversary?
I'll find the video because you wrote, I knew that there was a reason I felt connected to you. I was talking about being an addict.
Diane said, I get allowance too, trust me. That's right, Evelyn.
Yeah, I have my driver's license in there.
Y'all remember being little and getting a purse and going through the house just finding stupid shit to put in it?
Yes.
I did that.
Having that one old bottle of nail polish in there that had strings in it when you tried to open it, strung out because it was so old.
Lord. My daughter, neither one of my girls carry a purse. Neither one of them. They never really have. I mean, ever so often, the youngest one will go through this stage and she'll come to the house and go through my purses and take 2 or 3. But she took one out of town when she had to go to Nashville last week. And then, or the week before, whenever she went. And then, I don't think the oldest one has carried one in a while.
My hair was like this when I came on YouTube. Ricky, don't make me pull up my first video because you commented on it and said, is your hair shaved all the way around? And I said, yeah. And my hair was...
Everybody, stop copying people, Randall.
I'm sorry, I'm a loser.
Stop.
A loser.
You're a stalker. Stop. Stalker bitch. Stop.
My documentary. Yeah, somebody sent me a killer today. It's a mystery. I got to watch it because we need to do a killer stream.
We haven't done one in a while.
We haven't. And I got to watch that Andrew Cunanan thing. You do too. Because, Trailer Park Guy. I do live the thug life, Terry. I do. I don't know. Said Randy lives the thug life. I do. Don't y'all see my Michael Jackson and my elephant? Badass.
That's about the ignorant.
Oh, okay.
What is the name of that you want me to look up?
Andrew Cunanan.
How do you spell it? Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. I'll text it to you.
Okay. I do too, Lady Raiden. I like when we think the opposite, whether they're guilty or innocent. I know, Paula, she hasn't done a fun color in a while.
Well, see, I did, but I didn't bleach it first.
Why do you have to bleach it first? Do you know?
Because it's got to be real light. So it took on my roots. My hairstyle, I didn't say, I'm sorry, Kathy, I didn't say it. And my hairstylist said, because it just done my roots, she's like, your hair is so neat. Even though you done it yourself, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. But I like to play around with it.
Little Miss STFU said she's in contact with the convicted killer, Donald Fell. Ooh, what'd he do? Who'd he kill? What'd he do?
Looking him up now.
Okay. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Fell.
Sorry for any earphone users. Okay.
Golly, he looks familiar.
Gary, Don't you be raising up all ribs. Even though I do eat pork, I need to shut the hell up. I just don't tell Jim my bean.
Okay.
I'm going to be watching that royal wedding, Evelyn. I've seen every one of them so far. What, 2 of them? No, I've seen 3 of them. Prince Andrew, I saw that he is too.
Who did he kill? Because Tereska King. He looks so familiar. Yeah, I got a lot of gray. But I've been having to yeah, Shell, you want to see it? I've been having to do my roots since I was 30. 33.
Damon, that's so true. The disease addiction does not determine who we are.
No, absolutely not. I'm gonna tear it up.
Thank you, Gary.
You're definitely not defined by your past. Thank God.
Thank you for coming by, Trevor. You take care.
Good to see you, Trevor.
My hair.
I'm sure there's other ways around it.
And
Thank you. I love it too. I'm excited.
Back. Huh?
So I love it too. I'm excited. Bruv. DBLX.
What's Brove? What does that mean?
I don't know. My son's already got a gray spot, and he's 22. I think it runs in the family.
My husband's business partner, twin, and they were both completely gray by the time they were 30. One of them likes to color his hair. The other one, his actual partner, just stays gray. Absolutely random life. Your past is part of who you are. Your past can make you stronger. But never think without a doubt somebody ain't going to judge you for it. But you just have to take it as that. You know you're sober. You know you're doing the right thing. People are, and nobody's perfect. But if they want to be judgmental, let them. If they want to pick apart my story, let them. I used to fight back with it, and I quit. It doesn't do me any good.
Yeah, I'm done fighting about it. It's something that I have to work at and work at hard.
Yeah.
And I won't let anybody take that from me. I'm not going to.
And I think there's some people in your family that you'll never be able to please. I've got those in mind. I know that I'm trying to do the right thing, and either they're going to accept me for who I am or they're not, and I can't change them.
Oh, wow. I'm going to look that up.
Look at what?
The guy that she said she's in contact with, they're going to do a retrial because there was
jury misconduct. I see that.
I love listening to people's stories too at meetings. I love it. It's it gives you hope, that's for sure, especially the old timers, which B is now considered an old timer.
I'm considered an old timer. Anybody really over 10 years is considered an old timer in the AA sect of it. Gray by 21. See, I don't have a lot of gray, but I've got a lot of blonde in my hair. When it came back, it was kind of a medium brown. And I guess it's always kind of been that way. It just came back more curly than before. And I have to straighten it. Hey, Eric. And Shannon, you say when that happens, say I absolutely am, but I'm also in recovery, so there's a difference. And then you just keep on with your day. I know it's hurtful. But when you know you're clean, it's just words, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Cassidy. You're always so sweet. You always have the best words to say.
Kimbo Queen. How did you find? Who's Kimbo Queen? Y'all see these pills? $75. for 2 boxes. Tracy, you're lucky.
I am doing good. I'm tired, but I feel better.
She gets blood tomorrow, though. Somebody else's.
Yeah, I get a transfusion.
That's why. Remember to donate blood.
That's right, donate blood. I'm A positive, so I'm not saying there's plenty of that, but there's a lot more of that. It's more common than most blood types. So I'm lucky for that. But
that's cool.
You're welcome, Shannon. Any advice on trying to get my mother to try to move forward on getting sober? She's been an alcoholic my entire life. I'm 27. She also takes Xanax and Vicodin when she can get her hands on it. You has she had any like consequences like DUIs or anything like that? Because I'm telling you, the person has to want to get sober. Papa Rat V, I cut off contact with my drug addicted brother. I feel quiet, but I'm so angry with his lies and trying to seek my belongings. And yeah, that's what you got to do, Papa Rat. You got to protect you and yours. Yeah. And if they get their feelers hurt, then get sober and then come around.
It's hard. I have a family member that I don't let in the house. I don't have jewelry left. I don't have anything left.
It's sad. Yeah, she's not going to do it till she's ready. You can preach till you're blue in the face. What I can suggest is don't enable them. If they need a ride to the store, no, you got to figure it out. They don't. Maybe a good DUI, a good stint in jail, that's what it did for me. I'm not saying that's what it does for everybody, but
yes, Kimbo, you can ask a question.
B negative is rare.
Yes, if they don't want help and they, will lie. I was a liar and in denial too.
I've got to get plasma too. I will be there for 6 hours, y'all.
You got to get plasma too?
Mm-hmm. She's just hoping that this will jumpstart my bone marrow. I mean, right now we're kind of at a loss as to what to do. When I was reading you off that paper, this is what's sad, y'all. I didn't know what half that shit meant.
She didn't know what it meant, but I caught
it. Randy's got it now too.
Yeah.
And, she explains it to me, and because I'm a nurse, she thinks I know it. And I'm just sitting there grinning going, like I'm the smartest person in the world. And then I go home and Google, what the hell does this word mean? It's pitiful.
Your niece just called from jail. You don't know what to do. I've got that call.
You got to, Carrie. That's right.
I'm addicted to my pain pills. The doctor want me to take pain clinics, but they take my pills and get me addicted to something else. I wish I didn't have to take any.
Vicky, my husband left me there for 2 days.
I left my nephew there.
My father-in-law came and got me, and I was already out on a felony bond from the first arrest. And when he came down there to ask me what happened, the first thing out of my mouth was a lie. And he got up and walked away. And he said, I'm done. At that moment, I could not get any lower. And I had to literally lay on the floor of a jail cell because it was in a room. It was only 24 bunks, and there was 27 or 28 of us in there. So 4 of us had to lay on the floor. And and they won't let you sleep during the day. They won't let you have your bed out during the day. So I literally had to lay there, sit there during the day, lay there at night in withdrawals until his dad came and got me. It was horrible. But, that was my bottom. And it snowed. I remember it snowing, and I didn't have, like a lot of the girls that I was in jail with had like these undershirts. I didn't have any of that. He did not bring me anything. He literally got up and walked away because at that point, you had already talked to the pharmacist, the doctor, and everything, right? Yeah, he had already talked to everybody that was involved. The illegal DEA number that I used, the pharmacist that I called it into. So he already had the answers. So when the first thing out of my mouth was lie, he
Thank
literally
you,
got up and
Kimbo.
walked away and never looked back.
Are you addicted or are you dependent?
I do not have my nursing license. I allowed it to go inactive, and so I had to take a competency exam to get mine. I was in 10 Pat, Julie. I was in 10 Pat. And then when they did the what they call the license, you know, I live in the state of Mississippi, so I had to get it in this state. I'd already been doing drug screens for them for over 3 years. So when I came down here, I had to sign a whole new contract for 5 years. So I actually did drug screens for 8.5 years. But when I started working here, I went inactive, and I never went active again. I love you. Have a good night. And I never, I don't know that I'd ever go back in it. For me, it's not a place.
Dependent, yes, but I think of it as an addiction. Is there a difference? Yes, there is. Do you take it as prescribed, Kimbo?
Miss Taylor, I got arrested twice. I mean, and my kids were with me when I got arrested. Sad. That didn't teach me a lesson. It took what it took for me, and that's what it took for me, is thinking that my husband was done, that I was not going to get any help. Yeah, oh, that's good, Julie. I'm telling you, their programs like that is what, I don't know how long their programs are now, but back then they were 5 years.
That's Stephanie. Stephanie, can I say, she sent me a loom a while back, and I don't think I ever told her. Timber took it, and it's fine because Timber sits with the people at the assisted nerve can't talk, at the assisted living place, and they loom knit. Ain't that cool?
That is cool. I did that too, Julie. I worked in dialysis, and I also worked in the neonatal ICU because the drugs that you give there is just such a eensy amount of morphine. Thank you, Angel. Eensy amount of morphine to the withdrawal babies, and that was it. So those were safe places for me. I can never work in an ER. I can never work in a trauma unit. I can never work back in ICU. I can never do that again. I can never do home health. So I would not trust myself. Miss Taylor, it is hard. It is so hard. But now looking back, I'm glad I did it the way I did it. But it was hard at the time. Lord have mercy. If I would have found any crumble, any bottle that I could have licked out of, I would have. A pain clinic. See, they didn't have those back when I was in active addiction. Thank you, Sharon. I started off with IV chemo, then pill, and then IV. The doctor put me fight severe. Oh gosh, that's horrible, Sharon. Yes, Julie. But that's the good thing about the Impaired Professional program is they give you that second chance. And, you know, the drugs, all that in and of itself is hard because it's so expensive. The drug screens are hard. You know, you got so much stuff that you've got to do that it keeps you sober, helps keep you sober. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Subutex saved my life for sure. But, man, it's so hard to get off of trading one for another. A lot of people do feel that way. But so many people, it's the alternative, though, to me, is worse.
Yeah.
Lily, I started out in the neurotrauma ICU, and then I worked weekenders there, and I would do during the week, I would do ER or trauma receiving, like in the big level 1 trauma center here. And then that was before I was addicted, though. I just ran around like it was nothing. Then I started doing home health. Then I got sick. And then it just kind of went downhill from there. $700. Yeah, that's what I was telling Randy when I did it. It was $105 a piece back when I was doing it. And one time I had 3 tests in a row because, that's how a lot of people would relapse is they would do a drug screen and think that they're not going to be called again for at least another week or two. So they'll be clean by then. They used to slip you up. I had to do 3 in a row, $315 for drug screens in 3 days. That didn't include what I had to charge the center to go. It was like $25 to drop it. So.
And, we worked with the drug court for a long time, and with the juvenile drug court. And if your pay is clear, you're going to stick around and pay some more, or that you may just get violated because nobody's pee is that clear. The kids would drink, or they would put water in their pee, in their urine, and it would help them pass the test, but they'd still get busted.
Yeah. Oh, pain clinics. Those wasn't around when I was on medicine, but now if you require anything, what is it, Cynthia? Anything for over 30 days on a consistent basis, you have to go to a specific pain clinic doctor, and they will put you on something long term. It's because of all the laws that have changed.
And so that's what Jim had to do, and
that's crazy.
They wouldn't take our health insurance. He had to pay cash. Then it got to where he would have to go out of state to get the prescriptions filled because they were prescribing so many to so many people.
Shannon, I get that. And most of the people, I don't know enough about it, unfortunately. I know that most people that are on it say the exact same thing. And I just think that comparing it to the alternative, I think that that's the right drug to be on. I wish I drank enough water.
That's all I get to drink. I put mix in it though. I love Dr. Pepper.
Say mine's Coke. I love me some Coca-Cola. That's all I drink.
I can't. I'll be pissing razor blades. She asked me if I read the card, and I don't see a card. Now I feel.
Did they put it inside the wallet?
I just looked through it. Issue of pain medication by doctors as though they were candy. But a doctor, one time I asked the doctor, this was before I was addicted, and my first husband was addicted. And I went straight to the doctor and confronted him. And I said, why do you prescribe him this stuff? He's abusing it. And he said, he said, what they try to believe him. That was this many years ago because they don't want to think that everybody's a liar, and they eventually figure it out and stop.
Right.
And that's the good doctors. I do believe there are doctors that overprescribe to get you addicted, to keep you coming back. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Do y'all know I've never heard of Norco?
So that's what I was calling in. And I don't know how I heard of them. Because in the beginning, that's not what I was calling in. I was calling in hydrocodone 7.5s. And somehow, maybe a patient or something was on them. I was like, oh my God, it's got less Tylenol. Then I won't kill my liver. Stupid. The things you tell yourself in active addiction, you believe them.
Yep.
Crazy. Does anybody else have any questions? I was able to quit opiates and benzos with marijuana. I wish marijuana was legal here.
No, you would not. Will you quit saying that? You're not going to smoke it.
I am. What? Watch me.
It's awful.
I'll probably be paranoid as I don't know what.
I will absolutely leave this up.
Yeah, it's a good strain.
Just remember, if you see somebody you think is addicted, don't laugh. That's somebody's mother. Yeah, they're probably being a bad mom. I sucked as a mom when I was using. I know that now. I didn't know it at the time.
Right.
I thought I was killing it. Swear to God. I thought I was the best mom. Shit. And there was a point that Timber screamed at me there at the end. That's probably that was what made me want to get clean. She just was losing her shit at me. My other two were less vocal. Timber is the one that tells everybody like it is.
See, the CBD oil didn't help me, but I think it depends on where you get it from too. It may have been just where I couldn't even tell you where I got it from. The original one I got from the one Negs was affiliated with, and that was back, wasn't that like November? And then I found some just surfing the net.
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell you this. I tried hitting some weed whenever I was in withdrawal, and it didn't help me a bit. It didn't stop it at all. Didn't stop the withdrawals at all. Nothing stopped the withdrawal. Nothing.
Except for time.
I don't know where she got that from, Todd.
What did he say? Oh.
Where did Timber get that from? I'm telling you right now, my nanny cursed me. She said, I hope you have one just like you. And I got by with, I had two that wasn't. And then there came Timber, my twin. The only CBD oil I've tried was in chapstick. Where my vape store sells CBD chapstick. They sell the oil too, but it's expensive.
Boston girl, you have a brain tumor. I'm sorry, honey.
I'm sorry. Carrie. An addiction hotline just called Carrie. Really? I called me today. Look, these people are getting smart. It was a local cell phone number. And I was like, well, I wonder who this is. And I said, hello. And we won a vacation to Hawaii. All expense paid, 3 days.
We get them here. We get them at the shop all the time. They're always local. And I pick it up thinking it's a customer, and it's a sales call every time.
Thank God, Boston. Thank God.
It's not cancer, thank God.
It's your mission. I swear it's not hokey. Well, shit. We'll get her some.
I don't believe any of those things. I really don't. I just don't. Because if that was the case, everybody would take it. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be a use for chemo.
Or maybe everybody believes like you, and that's why it hadn't caught you. I don't know. Randy, you're taking me right. Todd, I would take nobody but you.
Todd. She's lying, Todd. Don't even let her lie to you. She gonna take her next door neighbor.
Jutton,
get in the car, Jutton. We're going away.
Jutton's gonna let me borrow his lawnmower, or we're gonna fist fight in the. He has got a $10,000 lawnmower.
That's crazy.
I know. Okay, Carrie. He thinks we're on the best course right now. Good. Yeah, it's expensive. And I know.
I question everything.
Jim, okay. Somebody on the radio said that they went into withdrawal. Hey, Bless.
Hey, Bless.
He's a stud.
God, have you ever seen a picture of him? He is no stud.
I sent me a
picture. He is no stud, Todd. Quit it. Stop. Simmer down, Todd.
John, you go and use that mower.
Don't make me come get you, Jutton. Beat your ass, Jutton.
My damn push mower with the big wheels. And he's on his zero turn. Meow. And I'm throwing birds the whole time I'm mowing.
No.
Poor Jimmy on the riding mower. It's 3 mowers in one. A piece of this one and a piece of that.
PJ, don't do that. See, and that's
Okay,
what
Bless.
worries me is chronic pain and afraid of the doctor pulling their meds. And that's what I don't understand. Why can't you go to another doctor? I don't know enough about. The link I sent y'all is a good one for the topic. Okay, but for this topic, because I'm on my phone, unfortunately, I can't get it.
Oh.
Hey, Fag Music, we're doing good.
I thought it was. All right, let me.
You're welcome, Christina.
Yes, it does sound like my vehicles. And ask. No, was it you? Who was I yelling at that it's 90 degrees, me and my dog dying just about?
Me. It's Haley's interview. Play that. Can you play it on your phone?
Does she mind?
And today, HTC. Right, is that okay, Bless? Yeah.
Yes, play it. Wait,
yes, she said that's fine. Bless said that's fine.
There's another student from Horry County Schools. I was 6 years old, and I saw my mom sitting on the couch crying her eyes out in a white blanket. She sat me down and she told me that my dad had passed away due to overdose. He could have been a better person to my mother. He could have been a better person to me as a father, and he could still be here if he made better choices. So you grew up without a father's guidance and attention, and it was really hard for me and my mom. I figured out that obstacles are not going to be really easy to jump, and I'm just really happy to have my mom here with me right now. And I've been through a lot, and I've liked how the way I've come up and I've been the person who I am today. You stay right there. Those interviews are coming up on this edition of Real Kids. HTC Digital Cable's fiber network connects me and my family to hundreds of HD channels.
We should have played this earlier.
I'm balling.
Nights of home entertainment with only the push of a button.
Precious.
I'm just company for over 60 years. That's HTC.
Discover a fun new way to watch TV anytime, anywhere, included with your HTC digital cable subscription. Call 843-369-8967.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it. Welcome back to Real Kids. Our guest today from Aner Middle is Matthew Spear. Matthew, we're glad to have you with us. Now, you brought with you a special guest. Tell us who you're presenting and why you nominated her.
I brought Haley Johnson. She is an 8th grader. She has been with me for a couple of years. And I nominated her because she has just been really resilient and very energetic. And then I learned that she had a story and overcoming a lot of things that very many kids have don't know whether they could get through that. We'll let her tell some of those things that'll bring light to those situations. But she's had some low moments where she had to be really resilient and just be really rock solid, and moments where she's done just superior and been rock solid in my class, and just really been impressive. So I'm really proud of her, and I'm happy that she's been part of my life as I teach. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be inspired by Haley's story.
Haley, what happened? Well, I was 6 years old, and I came off the school bus to come back home from school. And then I saw my mom sitting on the couch. She was crying her eyes out in a white blanket. She sat me down and she told me that my dad had passed away due to overdose. So you grew up without a father's guidance, love, and attention. And it was really hard for me and my mom because she's always been a strong, independent person, but bills and jobs and work and school and me going to sports back and forth, it's been really hard for her on herself. Life hasn't really been easy, and it just hit my mom really hard that she got cancer a few I think it was 2 years ago. She had cancer around Christmas, and it hasn't been easy on her. She struggles with weight problems, and it was hard for her to, do things on her own. She's been really independent. She doesn't really like asking people for help. So she was in really a depressed state at the time, and we all were, because I was going through so much. I was becoming a teenager. I was trying to figure out what my dad was or who he was as a person, and it was just hard to figure out everything while my mom was dealing with all of this, and I had school. It was just really frustrating for all of us.
And then life started looking brighter for the two of you. What helped turn it around?
Me and my mom got a job. I got a job at 13. I started working with my mom, and we started picking herself back on our feet. She was recovering from cancer. She had melanoma skin cancer, stage 4, and it just wasn't really good on our family and my little brother. But me and her got a job, but we started picking ourselves back up. I started getting my grades back up. I just, at that moment, got on the JV soccer team, and being around the group of people and being on a team really helped me and help lift my spirits up and keep us busy, so we wouldn't really have to be at home in our rooms by ourselves depressed, because that's how we've been for a while. But we've connected these past few moments and months, and we've gotten along together. We've learned things about each other that we haven't figured out. We got closer as a family, and I'm really happy we did that. And life is always going to be a struggle. I learned that at a really young age. I figured out that obstacles are not going to be really easy to jump, and I'm just really happy to have my mom here with me right now. And I've been through a lot, and I've liked how the way I've come up and I've been the person who I am today.
You told that story so well. Have you told your story before? Because it seems like you've told that from start to finish.
My mom has this base on YouTube, and she tries to help people get through things. And I've been on there a few times to help people, who struggle with mental health problems, or they've been through something, or they lost their father too. And I went on there a few times, and I try to help people who've been through what I've been through, and I talk to them and help them get through it. Or I'm on my phone a lot. I have a lot of friends that live in other places. I talk to them because I know they've been through things that I've been through, and I just wanted to help them. And I kind of tell my story, to help people relate, because I feel like if you can relate to someone, you can talk to them a lot better.
How does it work?
It's like sometimes talking to an adult about something that you're really sensitive about, it's harder to tell them all, and it's harder to let them, that if you feel like if someone understands you, you can kind of talk to them a lot better. So I feel like if I put my story out there and I give my trust to someone, I'll get their trust back, and we can communicate, and I can get real answers, and I can get real feedback, and actually give positive feedback to them too, and help them and benefit from that.
So is it an interactive thing?
Yeah, it's all just discussion and communication. I think communication is really important. Like he says to us every day, communicating is really important in daily lives.
But so many times when tragedies hit, such as the loss of your father, so many people kind of go into a shell.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to you?
Not when I was younger. I lost him when I was 6, so I didn't really understand, I mean, I guess depression can hit anybody at any age. You just don't understand what it is. But I didn't really go into a shell until I got older. It was around maybe 12. I went into a shell, and then I kind of was distant from my mom and my little brother, and I just didn't want to be around anyone. I think that's how I am now. But I've wanted to open up, and I wanted to make a difference. So I came out of my shell, and I wanted to, make a difference, and I want to change things, because we had a loss at our school due to suicide and bullying. I guess he had depression or something similar to that. And it really hit me hard that I wanted to change that. I didn't want that to happen again. So I came out of my shell, and I wanted to open up to people, see if they would open up to me.
And you would tell others to sort of be like you and do as you do. Is that right?
I would say that I benefited from it. I broke out of my shell, and I'm doing good. So can you, try to, give them that confidence, that it's okay that you can come out of your shell to talk to someone, because you could benefit from it. It's like a really high chance that you could benefit from it and, be a better person that you can be.
Speaking of becoming a better person, I'm sure you wish your father had been one. From what you've learned and from what you recall, how would you describe him?
My dad wasn't really the nicest dude. He did some bad things. He wasn't really, he didn't really follow the law. He did overdose due to drugs. He was exposed to them at a young age. His mother died to overdose too, my grandma, soon after he passed away. And I feel like he could have been a better person to my mother. He could have been a better person to me as a father, and he could still be here if he made better choices.
I'm almost speechless when I hear the things that that she says.
She's very mature, and it was impressive to me about Haley is she brings energy to class. I bring energy, and I'm a very charismatic, coachy kind of teacher, and I don't know how the students stand in class when she comes into class like a like an open fire hydrant, and I'm doing the same thing. They're caught in the middle.
So she's not dragging in.
Gosh,
she's not. No. There's no way. No one would know that she had ever been depressed.
I don't think so. I didn't know until recently that these were even issues, and because she just, I don't know if it's a front or what she's doing, but I think it's because she's learned these things and she's driven by passion and purpose, and that the difference that she's wanting to make drives that purpose, and it's not a facade where she's trying to hide behind it. I think she's truly making a difference because that's the way she was designed to. She's designed to make a difference and an impact on people. And I have my own children, and I want them to be able to do the same. And knowing that she's been through what she's been through lets me know that kids are just resilient. And it's awesome. And I'm proud of her. And she's been inspiring to me. So.
Do you think the other kids know what she's been through?
I don't know. I don't know if she's had the opportunity to just come out and let them know. And there have been some negative things that has happened in our school. She spoke of the child that we lost, and I think that if they did know her story and know that there's somebody that's been through what she's been through, then she can be such a beacon and a light, and help teachers and students to understand that it's more than just the academic classes that the kids are sitting in learning, these skills and skills and skills. We're with these kids 180 days a year, and to be able to take the time to get to know them in a personal way will help kids when they get to those states. I can remember in the 7th grade going to the guidance counselors and crying every single day because hormones, just going through those emotions are real. And as teachers, when you're teaching every single day, you got this content that you're trying to hit, make sure you get all this content. You don't realize that these kids are going through like real emotions. I know what it feels like to have bills to pay and mouth to feed. And the emotions that these kids have are the same emotions that we have as adults. It's the same thing, but we can just take the time to know their story, get to know them, talk to them, put our arm around them, say, hey, I love you. You're awesome. It just really helped when we have kids that are going through it. Most kids, they just want to know that they're loved. And then, man, they start performing for you when you have that happen.
Yeah, and she's had additional stress, uncertainties. So many uncertainties, haven't you? Not really knowing where you're going to live from month to month. Not really knowing if you're going to be able to pay the bills. Those are things that middle school students, don't think about. But you got you got a job, and you have to deal with a lot of uncertainty. How do you manage that?
I go to my mom a lot. My mom's always told me that I've never had to worry about anything. I've always gotten what I needed. That is true. I've always had clothes to put on my back. I've always had food. I've always had lights and a shelter and a bed. She's always provided for us, and I think that if I just sit back and I pray to God and I listen to my mom and I do what I'm supposed to, and I gotta, help provide for her too, because it is hard, and I just sit back and I look and I read life, and then I just go with it, and I don't.
Do you worry about tomorrow?
I do.
What is it about tomorrow that worries you most?
Something bad could happen because in my family is okay. We can't win for losing. That's what we say all the time. Something bad could happen to my mother, which I stress about all the time. I used to when I was younger. I used to be like, Mom, what if I lose you too? Because I don't have anyone I could go to. My grandparents, they're almost 80 years old. They can't take care of 2 kids on their own. My dad passed away. My dad's grandma passed away. She's not here. My grandparents live on the other side of the country. Something that drastic could happen to my family that I worry about all the time because it's happened to me. I lost my father in the blink of an eye. I mean, it could happen, but that's just something that I'm always going to stress about. And I feel like that that's what life you have to live with, is that fear is something that you do have to live with, but you have to overcome it sometimes.
And we'll talk with Haley about stress, her academics, and her future desires when this Real Kids interview continues.
Woo.
Let's join the interview in
That,
progress.
are you going to put that on Bless?
Do what?
I was wondering if Bless is going to put that on channel. That is tough. I mean,
what a great job you've done, Bless. What a great.
Yes. Woo. She's amazing.
I'm speechless too. It's not over yet. She said it's not over yet.
Oh, okay.
Worry about tomorrow a lot. I do stress a lot.
How do you manage that stress? How do you keep it from taking over? Because you have a lot to manage at school, from sports to academics.
I go first thing in the morning is everyday routine. I wake up and I get a little bit stressed because of daily life, and sometimes I always think about what could go wrong. But first thing in the morning, I go into the gym and I sit around and I look at all these people, and then we go to our first academic, which is his class. And I go in orchestra, and I try to forget everything, and I just play what's in front of me, and we have fun, we laugh. It just takes off stress. And I feel like when you're around people that, you can get along with and that they're your friends and you can talk to, they could help you release some stress too. And that's what I do. I go to his class. He helps me release some stress. I go and I play and I have fun on my bass. I go to my friends, which are always fun to hang around. And then at the end of the day, it's still a real world, and you go home to more stress, and then you just got to be around people and your family and communicate. That's how I deal with mine.
You mentioned something about playing the bass.
Yeah.
Is that how you cope with everything?
Yes, it's not just the bass. It's just music in general. I'll be in the car, or knowing that I can, make music and I can do it myself, and knowing that I can, you got all these musicians out here, being happy with music, and they can express how they feel out of music. And I just think that I can cope through music. I can be in my room with my guitar, and I can just play whatever I want to, or be me. It's my personality. I can be myself, and that's how I can cope with everything. It's just to know that I'm me. And music does help me a lot. Soccer helps me a lot. It's just the things that keep me busy, that keep my mind off of, the negative, and keep me into the positive. That's how I cope with everything.
Yeah, because the person who wrote your nomination said that you haven't allowed your circumstances to turn you into a bitter person.
Mm-hmm. I feel like life isn't about being sad. You can do a whole lot more than just be depressed. Do something about it. Get up and, be you. You could do anything if you put your mind to it. And if you put your mind to being sad, you're going to be sad. If you put your mind to being happy, you're going to do what you want to do to be happy. I feel like that's something that all people need to do, is to have the right mindset in life.
Yeah. And I would add to that she tends to be the kind of person that's like fiercely independent. And it's also probably true that depression can be enslaving and you feel chained. And she strikes me as the kind of person that she doesn't want that. And she doesn't want to be enslaved by those circumstances, because it's so easy to do that and just be weighted down by all of that. And so there's freedom. There's freedom in being resilient to that, to say, you know what, these circumstances to make me bitter is really a lie, but she doesn't allow it to. So she fights that battle and just chooses to say, I'm stronger than these circumstances. And that's what I would say to you about worrying about tomorrow. It's been said that Jesus said that, for do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And he's not saying that you won't go through trouble. And the wise people won't say you're not going to go through that. I mean, we're not promised that we're not going to struggle. As a matter of fact, when we go to the gym, you talk about going to the gym, we're not going to get stronger unless we have resistance. If I'm going to work out, I'm going to have resistance in order to get stronger. And that doesn't mean that the circumstances that you are going to go through aren't heartbreaking. But you have to have people there to put their arms around you and walk you through that, love you through that. And understanding that teens and their emotions, it's not just a hormonal thing that we ought to dismiss. Something that we need to remember, that it's a real thing. And know that you have a community of people that are around you, your church and your mom and your teachers and your principals, the guidance counselors, that want you to do well and want you to succeed. And you're going to, because you choose for it. You've already made that choice. And that right there is the hope that somebody's going to see this interview and they're going to be like, that's what I want. I can be like Haley. And I just want you to be thinking about that, because that's how you're going to be these things. That's the light that's going to help to save other people that's in that same circumstance. So.
And we'll talk with Haley about her mother's health and how she views her future. Haley, your mom is with us on the set. How is she doing health-wise?
She's doing a lot better. She has recently started going to the gym. She was told from her doctor about her cancer. She had it in her arm there. They had to take out the lymph nodes in her arm, and she can't lift anything heavier than a milk jug. So she's been doing a lot. She's been helped me clean around the house. She's been driving me back and forth to sports and school. Health-wise, I think mentally in her head, she's been doing a bit better now that we've been communicating with each other. I think she's doing really good. And then I want to help her get better too.
Haley, you're working hard for your future. You're taking honors classes. You're involved in music and sports, and you're working already. You're just an amazing young lady. What are your hopes for your future?
I have recently been doing really well in history class for the past 2 years. I've really enjoyed history. I feel like you can do so much with it. You can teach so much with it, and I've really been leaning towards the teaching side of what I want to do. Like, I want to become a teacher. I want to be, this person for somebody to look up to and learn from. And so I've been wanting to go to college to be a history professor. So that's something I've been got my mindset on. But there's also like, I want to, my mom, she wants to be like a counselor to help people. And so I feel like what I'm capable of doing, like I can reach to be someone that I can benefit from people. Like I want to help others. So either I'm going to be a teacher, or I'm going to be like a counselor, or maybe another teacher somewhere, maybe not a college professor, but I want to be someone that people can look up to and stuff like that.
Right now, you seem capable of speaking to someone who is so upset that he or she might harm him or herself. If you were faced with that challenge right now, what would you say? What would you say to them if they were on the edge to get them to reconsider?
I would say that you're not alone, because I feel like a lot of them that want to, end everything think that they're alone and they're struggling through this by themselves, and that's not the case. I've been through it. I've maybe not have lost as much as you have, but I have tasted what it's like to be sad, and I want them to know that you can get through this. You got it. I will be here with you if I can, because I will do everything I can to help others. I know that they're not alone. Like, if it feels like you lost everything and you're by yourself, because that's how I felt at the moment. I like opened my eyes and realized that I wasn't by myself. There was a whole lot of other people that's been through worse, or that's been through the same thing, and then that just helped me to I have what I have. I'm me. I can do so many great things, and that's not end everything, because I have a lot of people that care about me.
Well, you are going to do great things, and you do have a lot of people who care about you, including this guy over here. Thank you for being our newest Real Kid.
You're welcome.
That's all the Real Kids we have for today. Join us next time.
Wow.
That was tough. I tell you, and that's what, that puts things in perspective. All this stupid YouTube bullshit. If I ever get caught up in it again, Lord knows I'm going to watch that again.
There you go.
Things are not that important. That's awesome. Absolutely blessed. This is just a little insight how addiction affects others.
Yes. Yes. She speaks beautifully too.
Doesn't she? 14. And amazing. Amazing.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing and letting us share. You've done such a great job.
You absolutely did.
And that teacher is wonderful.
Isn't he? You just pray that your kids have that kind of role model in school. How many of y'all thought that he looked like Skeeter Jerkins, though? Shake that head, looks like Skeeter to me. Oh, that was tough.
And she did win her competition in Atlanta, thanks to all who donated.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did I see you say he's leaving next year, Bless? Oh, man.
That was beautiful. Wow.
It was. I know, Carrie, isn't that funny? Thank you, Life Happens. Love you, honey. He is. Oh, that's tough.
We thank the world of you.
So she'll go through high school without him. But you know what? There'll be another one to fill his place. I believe that. Kids can absolutely teach us adults a lot. Absolutely, Diane.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, that's amazing. Woo! That was tough, y'all. B's a baller. Ballin' B.
B's a baller.
B's a baller. Were you ready to end on that note? That was a beautiful.
I think that's a beautiful way to end it. And thank you, everybody that joined. Thank you for listening. Remember, try not to judge too harsh.
That's right. And if anybody ever has any questions, obviously you can come to me and Randy. There's so many just in this chat right here that are addicts in recovery that you can reach out to. And I know the hardest thing to do is to reach out when you're going through a dark spot. But it may be the one time, woo, that saves your life.
That's right. That's right. I got to make coffee. I've
got to wash my face.
All right,
you damn titty! Quit your crying, B.
Get your shit together, B.
Get your shit together, you dumbass.
Hey, King, thank you. Hey, glad to see you.
Hey,
okay, y'all. On that note, we're going to go. Bless. Thank you for blessing us.
Absolutely. That was amazing. Everybody. Tell Haley Jane she is amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
She is amazing.
Thank y'all for coming in this afternoon. That was a great stream.
It was. Thank you. Love you all.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.